Hey church, welcome to the end of another week. I just want to kind of give us an update of where we're at as we are slowly reemerging from our COVID experience. We know that COVID is not over, so we just say our COVID experience, that as we're reemerging to that in-person gathering, we know that many of us are becoming fully vaccinated, and we give thanks for that. If you are eligible and able and haven't yet, I really strongly encourage you to take advantage of the vaccines. We also keep that in mind because there's many in our community who aren't able to, whether that's because of a health issue or because perhaps they're younger than 12-year-olds. And we know that as we continue to gather in person and worship, that we will, in a larger setting like that, have both vaccinated and unvaccinated individuals. And so we're keeping that in mind as we think about these next steps of what in-person worship will continue to look like, what restrictions or guidelines we will continue to need to have, and also which ones we can potentially remove. And so you know that if you are active in the life of our church, that you received a link to a survey or had it mailed to you to fill out. And the Healthy Church team is meeting on Monday, even though it's a holiday. They'll be meeting on Memorial Day to look at those congregational survey results, to look at what we know from the CDC and what the Virginia Annual Conference has given us, and be able to start making some decisions about what's next now. We've just kind of held steady because we needed some time to discern and to think through and to hear from all of you, because that is especially important. So we're going to take all that information on Monday, and hopefully next week, it's our intention to be able to announce if we have some shifts with any of the guidelines around worship, whether that's changes with RSVP, how we're going to handle masks still, and any social distancing, and perhaps even some things that we can see us adding into worship, like perhaps having some singers involved during the worship service. So know that those things are coming. And also, when we think about worship, our hybrid worship experience, know that we are fully aware that we're still having some technical difficulties, especially now related to sound. Some of the hiccups that we had in those first few weeks are resolved now. But we know that sound is not where we want it to be, but I want you to know that we are working on that. That was an unanticipated hiccup because in the past we have been able to plug our sound system right into whatever recording device we were using, and now we're kind of experiencing an issue with that. But it is in the process of being resolved. I just ask that you be patient and hang with us for a little bit so we're fully aware. We are continuing to strive to be able to offer the most meaningful online service for those that are needing that. And we plan to have this continuing long term because we have seen the benefits of that. If you're not able to join us for worship in person, you certainly can join us online. But then we also know that there's others who have become connected into the life of our church and with our congregation through online worship. And so we've seen the joy and gifts that can bring. And so we're going to continue that. Now, the other thing about gathering in person is around small groups, Sunday school classes, Bible studies, all those smaller gatherings that we have. All of those have been possible since last summer. There hasn't been a time since last summer that we said you can't meet. We just simply had guidelines that needed to be followed. But those guidelines have started to change. A couple weeks ago, we sent out new guidelines through the e-news, and now they're about to shift again because of other guidance we've had. But most importantly, because Bob Van Sant, the chair of the Healthy Church team, and I, we wanted to gather with the small group leaders and Sunday school class leaders, or at least representatives from those. And I believe last Monday when we all met, we were only missing folks from two groups. So we had almost everybody there and all of us together. So it wasn't just the Healthy Church team, certainly wasn't just me, wasn't just Bob. All of us working together came up with some guidelines for kind of how we can move forward safely in small group settings. And so one of those things for me to share now is if your group is all fully vaccinated and everyone agrees, then you can meet in a small group setting without your masks on, whether you're indoors or outdoors, on premise, off premise. And so that's one of the beautiful things. There's different information if you happen to be a group of vaccinated and unvaccinated folks. So your small group leaders and Sunday school class leaders will be receiving those and have, because they were part of pulling those together. If your group hasn't met yet, and you're interested in doing that, reach out to your leader or reach out to me. We know that over the summer we expect just to see more and more groups starting to meet. And again, we just give thanks for that. Right now we have the Ethel Story Bible Study, I think was the most recent that has come back together. We've started to have ministry team meetings here on premise in person, and that's been a joy. So just know that all those things are in the works, and we anticipate some more shifts as we continue to move forward. So thank you all if you participated in the congregational survey, and just continue to pray as we make those decisions moving forward. But in the meantime, friends, be well and be blessed, and I'll see you on Sunday.